Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey, cooters and cooterettes and clickers and J is for Justice watchers. Welcome back to J is for Justice. My name is Jay. I am your host, and it is Monday, May 19th. Happy Monday, y'all. Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you danced your way into the chat. Thank you for being here. And if you could dance your way over to the like button, that would be much appreciated. I've got a full show for us today. Hello, Sherry baby. Hello, my favorite viewer, Cole. Let me see. Let's get our chat popped up here. The real Kells is here. Holly Golightly. Good to see you, Robat. Hopefully you can hear me now. My favorite viewer, Mr. Cole. Hi, Shauna. Hi, Pretty Hate. Hi, Sherry baby. And Audrey D. What photo, Teresa? But thank you. Oh, the one on the beginning screen. Thank you so much. Maggie Marie, thank you for becoming a member today. I appreciate that. I like your picture. Swampside Chick, good to see you. Naomi coming in with some clicker clogs. Brandywine has been here for 2 months. Lindsay Hendricks is here. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, my allergies are really getting to me. Good afternoon, Snowflakes. John Gone Girl. And we've got Lovey. Avocado toast. Teresa. Put it on live chat, everybody. Here is a reminder. Jana the Nana. Good to see you. Mel. Pearl Strand. Happy Monday, guys. Yes, put your tinfoil hats on. We always need them handy. Or have them in your lap. Kathy Rutledge. I'm new, but love your channel. Thank you, Kathy. What is happening today? So, I'll tell you what's happening with me. I'm a little sunburnt. I went to the beach yesterday. If you missed my stream on my other channel, I went by the laundry's house yesterday. I went by Gabby Petito's bench, memorial bench. Hi, September. And I got lost a few times. I lost my signal a few times, but I did break it down into like a 5-minute video if you'd like to watch it. It's pretty crazy. And when I was looking back, I'm like, I had to write the date in the video, like the date that, you know, things were starting in that Gabby Petito case. And it was 2021. And it's already been 4 years now this summer. What's up, Sue? Hey, Sherry Rollins. I'm going to start calling you Henry Rollins. The Rollins band. But thank you for joining, guys. It's been hot. It's very, very hot here today. Like very, very hot. It's summer's here. Summer's here. Okay, so we're going to get into Dr. Grande a little bit. I just want to hear his 3 reasons why he thinks Bryan Kohberger could have watched his video. Hey, Krugsies. And then I have this thing I want to talk about. Then we have a little mini documentary, if you will, to watch. You were watching Storm Chasers, driving around your new sporty car. Yes. Oh, Krugsies, welcome back. Thanks for rejoining. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. But I want to thank you guys all for being here. And if you could, again, hit that like button, it gets the videos back out in the algorithm. It seems like today a lot of you did get your notifications. So go ahead and put a 1 in chat if you did get a notification from YouTube today. Just think of all the things Gabby would have done the last 4 years. I know, it's so sad. I was looking at that bench and I was just like, she moved down here to like start a life with Bryan or whatever. She, and that's all that's left of her in Florida is a bench. You got a new gazebo, so you bought multicolored lights to put underneath. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely. I'd love to see that. You did get them. Nice. Nice. So maybe YouTube's starting to like me again. I'm not going to hold my breath, but you never know. Hey, Stephanie. Welcome in. Yeah, September. Okay. So I saw this on Reddit and I was like, I never heard this before, but maybe you guys have. Good morning, Aristocat. So it says, has anyone heard about the Johnson Road dumpster rumor? I saw below in a comment section a couple days ago, the commenter has their full name and their handle. And on Facebook, there's a profile with that name that lists Pullman, Washington as where they live. So they're saying this person seems real. And it says, I live in Pullman, Washington, and BK was seen on a business cam putting bags in the dumpster after killings on Johnson Road. You even got a 30-minute warning. That's awesome. And then the other one says, when reported to police, the dumpster had already been dumped. Police were rumored to be digging through a landfill. Have you guys ever heard this before? Hey, Spitfire. And hey, Hug Dealer. I like hug dealers. I'm not a huggy person, but I'd rather see a hug dealer than a drug dealer. But what do you guys think? Have you ever heard this? Have you ever heard of any of a landfill at all involved in this investigation? I don't remember hearing anything. So I'm wondering if this could be true and this person just hadn't said anything. Because I don't remember this being any rumors. You guys are saying no? Hey, Tennessee Terry. It's sounding new to me as well. So if you're just joining, let me read it again. It says, I live in Pullman, Washington, and BK was seen on a business cam putting bags in the dumpster after the killings on Johnson Road. When reported to the police, the dumpster had already been dumped. Police were rumored to be digging through the landfill. So I'm curious, like, where's Johnson Road, right? Is it in Moscow? Like, first you're hearing about a landfill. Yeah, I've never heard any even hints about a landfill. Is Johnson Road in Moscow? Or is it in Johnson, Idaho? Oh. Okay, so the old Moscow Pullman Road connects into Johnson Road near Pullman. Johnson Road. It doesn't say Johnson Street. It says Johnson Road. Deary, Idaho. Hold on. It's in the middle of nowhere. Okay, hold on. I'm going to pull up a map and we'll take a look at it together because If this is near where Brent Kopacka's family's farm is in Johnson, Idaho, then maybe they did. Hold on. Trying to see something here. I don't want to pull up the wrong thing. Oh, I see where it is. Okay. You guys ready? Dr. Grande is kind of snarky. You know, I would have thought that he would have been a little like more animated about Bryan watching his stuff. That dude is just like, I'm Dr. Grande. Bryan Kohberger watched my videos. I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why I think Bryan Kohberger watched my videos. 1, I'm just like, wow. He has a Brit sense of humor. I've never seen him laugh. You guys are funny. You like his sense of humor. I've never seen his ass laugh, but I don't watch him that much. But he doesn't do any live streams, so I don't know what he would possibly laugh about because is he very dry? Is that like his sense of humor dry? Okay. All right, so this is the map showing Johnson Road. I'm going to show you before I zoom in. This is Moscow. Dry humor. Yeah, I guess I never really get dry humor. I guess you might call me like an airhead. Hold on, let me get comfy here. I got my Cooter Lake shirt on, guys. Look at. It's the Cooter Lake baseball tee with the 3/4 sleeves. You can get yours in the merch store. It's really comfy. It really is. And it doesn't have a brand on it. It's just Cooter Lake logo. Outer Banks, thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you so much. I love this stuff. Thank you, Jay. Fun fact, he's not a daughter. Or a doctor. Daughter. Don't call me daughter. Thank you so much, Outer Banks. I appreciate your support. So here is Moscow right here, right? So we're going to zoom in to find where Johnson Road goes to. Okay, so it's not really labeled too good because it's out in the middle of nowhere, but here's Moscow, so you know I'm not leading you down the wrong path. And then if we go over here, I just put a random address in. So we're going to zoom in on this pin because this home is on Johnson Road. And we don't get to see Johnson Road until we really get close because it's freaking in the middle of nowheres. So it says here, Johnson Road. Let's see. Can we put our little guy down there to see what businesses are down there? But it says Dry Creek Road, and then it says Johnson Road. But look, we can't go down there. That's how rural this is. So we're going to have to go a different route. Real quick. And do this. And we'll say, what businesses are on Johnson Road in, what was it called? I don't remember the name of the town. Ooh, there's a Johnson Road in Fruitland. Yikes. You know, that may not even work because let's do Moscow. It takes us right to the chamber. I wonder if it's this one. That's Johnson Avenue, though. They're saying Johnson Road, so. Oh, I don't know, guys. I'm out of ideas. Oh, shit. Look, There's a dance studio. Oh, they took it off here. Shirley's Dance Studio, 2051 Johnson Road. Shirley's Dance Studio. See, that's on 7th Street in Clarkston. Anyway, I don't know. I thought it was interesting, though. I don't know if there's any merit to it, but it would be interesting if maybe they found some shit in a landfill, right? I feel like it would be, yeah, not in PA and Idaho, but I feel like there's another Johnson Road, Sarah with an H, just south of Pullman. Mm. Johnson, Washington. Didn't think of that. Let's try Johnson, Washington and see. Johnson Road, Johnson, Washington. Would this be it? There's Moscow. There's Pullman. Yep.
For making it happen. I want to say thank you for making it happen.
It's called Johnson Road in Johnson, Idaho. Oh, wow, Jax Wolf. Thank you for your super chat. He said off topic, but on the sheriff shooting, they are trying to plead insanity due to sleep deprivation in California. Aniphelis, what is that? Anaphylaitis virus? Saying it caused paranoia and mental episodes. Well, that's interesting. It turns into a sand road. Okay, so thank you, Jax. Did that just come out? Bald Butt Lavender Farm. Genesee Union Warehouse, which is a grain elevator. But where is the Johnson Road? Johnson Cutoff Road. Would that be the same? Here it is. Johnson Road, right? Forget here. Thank you, guys. So we have a gun club. Let's see. A Steptoe Street. Johnson Road. Let's see what's down here. Absolutely nothing. I think we've driven down this road, though, in a previous live a few years ago on this case. I don't know what brought us to this area, though. So there's farms, obviously. Nothing but a bunch of silos and shit. So let's go back out and see. I just don't know why someone would, make this up for this road. Like, seems weird, right? To pull this out of all things. So there's a Genesee Union Warehouse and then Bald Butt Lavender Farms that could have, I guess, potential dumpsters. Can you guys hear that car? It is so obnoxious. Because it's really not that long of a road and there's not a whole lot there. Can we go down here? Druffel Road and Johnson Road. Here's the intersection. So I wonder if it isn't one of those businesses, you know. Let's go over here. Although I'm not really seeing like dumpsters. Like, where would there be a dumpster around here? Doesn't seem like there is. These are all houses. Surprisingly, this is from 2023, though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing any like businesses, only these farms. So unless he nosed around on a farm, I don't know. It's weird. It's really, really weird. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, everybody coming in. It's the Palouse. Some lavender. I would love to live by a lavender farm. Could you imagine how nice that would smell to live by a lavender farm? Okay. Let's get into Dr. Grande. We'll keep our keep that in the back of our minds for when the trial starts about some kind of dumpster talk or landfill talk or anything like that. We'd be like, oh my God, that was true. Computer Kevin thinks he dug a hole and buried it. Hey, Holly. It was just a comment on Reddit that I looked up. You're likely to get shot nosing around in that area. Okay, let's listen to the 3 reasons why Dr. Grande thinks Kohberger listened to his videos.
Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Bryan Kohberger maintains his innocence and, amazingly, he has a large number of supporters. They argue there is insufficient evidence that he was responsible for the murders. The state, of course, disagrees. They believe it is obvious that Bryan is the killer. With this in mind, was Bryan Kohberger guilty of murder? In my analysis, I will include the new incriminating evidence revealed in a Dateline episode on this case. Let's look at the evidence both for and against the idea that he was guilty, starting with the inculpatory factors. About 8 months before the murders, Bryan purchased a 7-inch K-bar knife with a sheath on Amazon. The sheath matched the one found in Madison's bedroom. Bryan's DNA was on that sheath. After the murders, he searched on Amazon for a K-bar knife sheath as if he was looking for a replacement. Not long after moving to Washington, Bryan searched for images of female students at Washington State University and the University of Idaho. Many of the students were wearing bathing suits. Some of the students were friends with the 3 women who were murdered at the King Road house. In August 2022, Bryan Kohberger searched online for information about Ted Bundy and downloaded a research article about how serial killers justify their behavior. On September 30, Bryan searched the internet for sociopathic traits in college student. On October 9, he searched for adults-only videos with the keywords forced, passed out, drugged, and sleeping. On October 19, he searched for can psychopaths behave prosocially. In July and August 2022, Bryan's phone had been in the area of the King Road house on several occasions. On November 13, at 2:47 a.m., about an hour and a half before the murders, Bryan's phone left his apartment in Pullman. It was deactivated at 2:54 a.m. At 4:48 a.m., Bryan's phone was reactivated, so his phone was off during the time of the murders. A vehicle matching the description of Bryan's Hyundai Elantra was captured driving by the house on King Road several times. It returned right before the murders and left right after the murders. Bryan thoroughly washed his vehicle after the murders and changed the registration.
Hi, Gary.
Bryan matched the description of the presumed killer, which was provided by Dylan Mortensen. His phone was in the area of the King Road house in the hours after the murders. In the weeks after the crime, Bryan searched the internet for University of Idaho murders. He watched several videos about the case, including one on November 28, which I published on November 21, titled, "Does the College Student Killer in Idaho Share Traits with Ted Bundy?" When Bryan was arrested at his parents' house in Pennsylvania, he was taking out trash at about 4 a.m. while wearing surgical gloves. Moving to the exculpatory factors, Dylan Mortensen was intoxicated when she saw the presumed killer. Her description may not be accurate. Bryan Kohberger did not have any obvious connection to any of the victims. That's pretty much it for the exculpatory factors. When considering all the evidence in this case, do I believe that Bryan Kohberger is guilty? Yes, I am convinced of his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Item number 2, what mental health factors may have been at work in this case? Bryan's defense has indicated that he has autism spectrum disorder.
He straight up said yes, but he thinks beyond a reasonable doubt already. Why aren't people attacking Dr. Grande? I never even said that with beyond a reasonable doubt. He's like, behind a reasonable doubt, I think his ass did it. So yeah, the video that Bryan watched was, we watched it in another stream. It was about comparing the Idaho murderer to Ted Bundy. And I wish that we could see all the stuff he watched. Like, I hope we get to see that eventually, you know, in like maybe a discovery dump after the trial or something like that. He's the first. He said without a reasonable doubt, like he's already seen all the evidence. I have him sped up just a little bit, 0.25.
And obsessive compulsive disorder. He is socially awkward, displays extremely rigid thinking, processes information on a piecemeal basis, has difficulty planning ahead, perseverates on specific topics, and has a lack of insight. Given Bryan's search history, it seems likely that he believed he had characteristics of psychopathy. This brings me to item number 3. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Bryan Kohberger was self-centered, impulsive, sensation-seeking, cold, callous, obsessive, manipulative, deceptive, fearless, grandiose, antagonistic, remorseless, socially awkward, had a sense of entitlement.
He doesn't have one good thing. Do you hear all these things? I think he's so true, though. I think it's so true. Island thrifts. I watch Dr. Grande when I need help falling asleep. I know he's so monotone. But, however, it came out in Dateline that Bryan watched his video. So I'm curious. Pearl Strand. I know maybe he did watch like the overlay or us like comparing voices or us going through the crime scene photos. Crazy.
And was exceedingly creepy. He was probably correct about having characteristics of psychopathy. Bryan was motivated by a desire to dominate women sexually. He knew that these desires were antisocial and wanted to know if he would ever be normal. He was interested to know if he could ever change. This is why he searched for, can psychopaths behave prosocially? Bryan was looking for hope, but he did not find any. Ultimately, he accepted the destiny he believed was unavoidable and gave in to his dark desires. The house on King Road was selected as the location for the crime because Bryan wanted to kill Madison. It's not clear how he knew about Madison, but he must have learned about her in some way. Maybe he simply saw her one day outside her house. When Bryan went to Madison's bedroom, he was surprised to see Kaylee in the same bed as her. He was again surprised when Xana investigated the noise that he was making. Bryan ended up killing 4 people, but probably only intended on killing 1. The house without killing Dylan because he assumed she already called 911, and he was exhausted. The knife sheath was left behind during the confusion, which sealed Bryan's fate. Now moving to item number 4. As I mentioned, over a month before he was arrested, Bryan watched one of my YouTube videos about the murders. In the video, I talked about the likely characteristics of the perpetrator based on the nature of the crime. For example, I indicated that the offender was probably a male between 20 and 40 years old. Bryan
Well, a lot of us could have guessed that, right? I mean,
was 8 days shy of his 28th birthday when he allegedly committed the murders. The killer was looking for a specific victim. We now know Madison was the intended victim. The killer's motive was sexual. Bryan made multiple searches for female college students in bathing suits.
do you guys think the motive was sexual? He's stating it as fact. Do you guys think that this was a sexually motivated crime? Papa Rogers says no. Hey, Paco. Good to see you guys. Hey, Texas Ranger. Hey, everybody that came in during the video. Do you guys think this was a sexually motivated crime? Yes or no? Cranky shrugs. Teresa says yeah. Island says I do. Holly says yes. Alabama mom, you don't. Kathy doesn't. What for the people that say no, why do you think it wasn't? For the people that said no, why do you think it was not? Hey, Skolnick. But we don't know if they were sexually assaulted, right? We don't know that yet. The dude was living out a serial killer fantasy. Do you think that it was... See, because sometimes they say that, like, serial killers, when they say sexually motivated, like, they get off on doing it. What's up, agent? In some way, I think sex figures into his visit to the house, or maybe him watching them. Maybe that turned him on too, right? From what we know, because he didn't assault anybody, but he may have. We just don't know yet. Right, because we didn't even know that Kaylee got punched in the face. So we don't know all of it. Meg. I tend to agree with Meg on that one. I don't think there was enough time, as gross as that sounds, to do the essay. I thought it was said there was no essay. Yeah, but there's been a lot of rumors and a lot of things denied, right? Just like there was no audio, and then Dateline comes out with this horrific audio, right? We were told that was not true either. But I kind of agree with Meg here. I think that the sexual motivation was like a weird perversion, if you will, to Bryan. Yeah, I think he watched him too. Pearl Strands says it was totally sexually motivated. Bryan's a weirdo. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Jax, for sending me that, by the way. It would have been if KG hadn't walked in, right? But maybe he had a plan to assault Kaylee, right? That could be too. Or Maddie, not Kaylee. I think it was, and the girls being together could have messed the plan up. So he did Google, like, passed out girls, like, as far as, like, pornography searches, they said passed out. Can't remember the other. Kel says no time for that. It may have been sexual, then turned to rage when unable. That's what I think, Delilah. Imagine being judged by what you look on Google. But it's not just that. I mean, of course, everybody Googles weird shit. But not everybody Googles passed out porn or drunk girl porn or wants to watch porn that has to do with what the fuck is that word? Inhabitated girls or whatever. Hey, Blockbuster. Hey, Jason. Yeah, it's not just one thing. Oh, and then Skolnick, are you talking about the drawing he had? What's on men's mind, on a man's mind? But he can always say, oh, that was for class. that was all, that was all school stuff or Mike thinks he killed right away. I don't think he went in to have sex and leave DNA. Incapacitated. Thank you. See, and that's where it all fits in, right, Snowflake? Whereas if you were going to kill somebody, how would you get away with it? If you're a criminology student and a PhD at that, asking weird questions about murders, asking criminals what they think of things and what drawing on a man's mind or what's on a man's mind? On a man's, or it's just called a man's mind, actually. A man's mind. It's a man's mind drawing. This. It's this. So when Bryan Kohberger was arrested, they actually collected this from his house. Like he had this. What's on a man's mind? Sigmund Freud. Exactly, Skolnick. It was sexually motivated, but not how you or I think of sex. Hey, Collateral. So that's the drawing. One of them, this is what they confiscated in Pennsylvania. Hey, Crafted Evidence. Thank you for being here. Canadian True Crime Buff. Thank you for joining as well.
Making it happen. I want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
But see, having this doesn't actually mean anything in Wait a second. My camera has a new feature. Add effects using hand gestures. Turn on reactions to express yourself with a hand gesture during a video. Click the status menu. Oh, that's weird. Like if I wave my hand, it's going to do something weird. I don't know if I have it on. Explain 3 unknown male DNA left at the crime scene. He's into dead looking porn fetish. Right. I'm sure there's tons of other people's DNA in there. You have to use both hands. What's it going to do? Oh, look. I love you guys. How cute is that? I can't.
For making it happen. I want to say thank you.
Chris Rock, possible sex is why men hold the door. Right. So I think what's on a man's mind is always sex, but his mind wasn't like ours. I think BK felt like less, and thank you, Julie. I think BK felt like less because of his social and romantic failures, and in the selfie he took the morning of the murders, we see a BK who seems to feel redeemed by his actions. I don't know how to make fireworks. How do I do that? Was it confirmed to be a brass snap? I don't know. They haven't told us. Brendan, thanks for joining me yesterday on the outing. Thumbs up? Or do you have to do 2 hands? That shit don't do nothing. Alabama mama ain't listen to you no more. Alabama mama's going to have me over here. She can be like, flash yourself. It'll make fireworks. Yeah, the man's mind pick is a Sigmund Freud drawing. But it's interesting out of the evidence they had that this was there, right? I'm sorry, they're weed whacking outside. Okay, let's finish Grande up. Then we're going to get into this little mini documentary, if you will. And they talk
and
about
for
Papa
adults
Roger.
only videos. The offender was socially awkward and a creepy loner. Bryan matches both of those descriptions. The killer had a criminal record. Bryan did not have a criminal record.
Wait, listen.
Suits
Listen.
and for adults only videos. The offender was socially awkward and a creepy loner. Bryan matches both of those descriptions. The killer had a criminal record.
Shell.
Bryan did not have a criminal record, but he did admit to using heroin, which of course is a crime. And the offender was excited in the hours after the murder. I don't know if Bryan was excited or not, but he allegedly returned to the scene of the murders not long after 9 a.m. and took a selfie at 10:31 a.m. I don't know why Bryan watched my video. He may have been eager to learn what a PhD counselor educator had to say about the crime. Maybe this could give him some advantage in his effort to escape responsibility. For example, Bryan learned that he had many of the characteristics that law enforcement would have been looking for. Perhaps he used the information to adjust his behavior to appear less like the offender's personality profile. For instance, Bryan may have been trying to appear less creepy. The video that Bryan watched also contained my thoughts on how the Idaho quadruple murder case was similar to the notorious Chi Omega murders perpetrated by Ted Bundy in 1978. Ted entered a sorority house in Tallahassee, Florida, and attacked multiple women with a piece of firewood. It is believed Ted assumed he would get arrested because his crime was so brazen. I imagine that when Bryan watched this segment of the video, it was not encouraging for him. Maybe he realized that his arrest was also likely.
So did you hear that? For those people that think he couldn't have gone in there and done this in the amount of time that they say he did, Ted Bundy did it with a freaking log. Basically a piece of wood, which is absolutely horrific. Absolutely fucking horrific.
On the other hand, it's possible that Bryan found this comparison exciting or even inspiring because he allegedly committed a crime which was comparable to one of the most notorious attacks in the history of true crime. Bryan had allegedly cemented his place as a villain. Now moving to my final thoughts. One question that I've received after the Dateline episode aired is how does it feel to know that Bryan watched one of my videos? Here are my thoughts on this. Over the last 11 years, I have made thousands of videos. Produced videos about a lot of different topics like troubled social media influencers, politics, pop culture, misbehaving actors, transportation disasters, cult activity, missing people, and of course, true crime. I've received messages from many people involved directly or indirectly with cases I've covered. Perpetrators, victims, investigators, lawyers, and of course, family members, friends, or acquaintances of any of those groups. For example, the mother of a perpetrator or the neighbor of a victim. For the most part, people thank me in these messages. They found my video to be interesting, accurate, or helpful. On a few occasions, however, people aren't too thrilled with my analysis, especially the perpetrators. If they were the target of dark humor contained in the video, it only increases the likelihood of a negative response on their part. Offenders don't always find the dark humor as funny as members of the public. When considering Bryan Kohberger's situation, it makes sense that he would watch a video about a crime he allegedly committed.
So he thinks he might have pissed off Bryan Kohberger. Thank you, Jax. I believe he was infatuated with the power to dominate and the power to take someone's life. Same idea with Dahmer. Got off on the power. The control. Do you think BK could do this to someone he liked or admired? I think that his way of liking or admiring someone is different than ours, if you will. That's hard to answer because I think that he had a different way of looking at things. And Vanessa, you think he had help? I don't. What could be more intimate than being present when someone dies? Yeah, Vaughn, that's a good point. I know, Skolnick. He won't, though. He won't.
In addition, Bryan was a PhD student. People in this category tend to be intellectually curious. Many people who enjoy my channel have a very high level of intellectual curiosity. This is something that I've witnessed repeatedly over the years. The fact that Bryan watched my video isn't really surprising. Even so, it is a little weird to imagine a man who allegedly just killed 4 people was trying to learn from an analysis I conducted. He was trying to figure out how to use the information to escape or to gain gratification. Either purpose is disconcerting and unnerving. Whenever a content creator produces educational material, there is always a chance it will be consumed by someone whose purpose for watching deviates from the expected. This is just part of the business of making videos. Fortunately, Bryan Kohberger was arrested, so all his further enjoyment of my videos will occur behind bars, where his potential for destruction is limited. Those are my thoughts on the case of Bryan Kohberger. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk.
So what do you think? What do you think of his response? I think that, he took it in stride. I don't mind the guy. Paco comes in here with all the rumor mill. Take Paco with a grain of salt, if you will. Come on, 2 to 3 perps. And all the perps just happen to just not leave any DNA anywhere near the victims, on the victims. All 3 of them were squeaky clean. Do you know the odds of 3 people not leaving behind DNA versus 1? Yeah, they took off in the lime green Elantra. I can't with these rumors. You think the dude needs to pep it up? He is who he is. I am Dr. Grande. Bryan Kohberger, watch my videos. The guy with the creepy socks theory said the same thing about BK last night. What did he say? That he used, oh God, like he got off on it. Why do you think he didn't have any help doing it? Just wondering. I just don't. I just think it's harder for 2 people. Number one, if someone else helped him, don't you think they would have arrested them by now? How's one person going to get away scot-free? You think that Kohberger ain't going to call out his accomplice? Right? And then the odds of 3 people not leaving the ship behind, or 2 people not leaving stuff behind, it's just very unlikely. Like, why would he sit back and take the fall if there was another person? Like, they want to put him in front of a firing range with a target on his heart and have him go in front of a firing squad. Fletch, I agree with that. I agree with that. Chevy Chase was so cute when he was young. I think he started off as a voyeur, peeping Tom, and that's how he knew the girls. It was a perfect opportunity to sit back there and just watch. I mean, it was like their house was like a snow globe. Watching their house was like a snow globe. Hey, Jeff H., good to see you, my friend. But why, if someone else was with him, why would he cover it up? Do you know what I mean? BK couldn't get someone to go on a hike with him, much less commit a crime with him. Good point. That's true, Skolnick. That is so true. Thank you for your super chat. It's just so unlikely. It's you have to go with like things that are most likely scenario. There's no green car. The car isn't really green. People are saying night vision wouldn't make, the colors are. No. Night vision is black, white, and gray, y'all. He followed all of them on social media. And when they say there's no connection, couldn't that just mean they never conversed? I mean, really, what is a connection? You people can keep character assassination all you want. The truth of the matter is they have one piece of indirect evidence that was most likely manipulated. Paco, what? And every time he was going out to go on a hike when people saw him, listen, they're coming back from a hike. At the end of the day, his ass is going in at night. That's just weird. Snowflake says, Julie, I wish I could see your comments. I'm not blocked on your channel, so I'm confused. I don't know, Snowflake. Jeff H. says a white Elantra speeding away minutes after Xana's last sign of life is very sus to me. And that's just one of the items on a long list that points to BK. Right, that's the thing. It's not just one thing, Jeff H. Like all these people are like, oh, about the Google searches or about the car or about this or about that or the selfies or whatever it is, but it's everything adding up. And I think that when we hear it presented in such a way that it just starts stacking on top of one thing on top of the other, we're going to have a stack of evidence like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Who said ravioli? Now I'm hungry. Character assassination. They have over 100 hours. And this is out of Ann Taylor's mouth. Over 100 hours of interviews with people who came into contact with Kohberger that Ann Taylor said were, quote unquote, mean things. They were saying mean things about my client. Oh, look I made balloons. Mean things. I didn't get balloons again, but hey. His phone pinged near the house 23 times, all at night, between 10 and 4.
You're awesome.
Now, if he didn't know anybody that lived over there, why was he there so many times between 10 and 4 p.m.? Or 10 and 4 a.m.? That's a good question, Tuesday. Planted knife sheath? Come on, Paco, you're pushing it now. I don't know why people go like, I don't know, Google for,
Awesome.
For killers and stuff. It's like weird. I guess not. If you ever see me just doing random air quotes, it means I just want some balloons. Oh, I got to do 2 air quotes. Didn't work. But I love you guys. Love. Drive safe, Miss Shell. AT probably thinks, oh, yeah. Oh, do you know how many other DNAs there's probably in that house, Paco? I think they should have tested it too, but I don't think that means there's another killer. DNA is DNA. There's DNA all over my house, right? Curious as to how he found the house. Now, that's what's interesting, yeah. Like, I don't know if he went over there for some reason. What came first? The house or the people in it? What came first? What do you guys think? Do you guys think he knew about this house before he went to Washington for school? Avocado. Who would plant it and why? Why? Who would even know him to plant? I mean, why would anybody want to set this guy up? It doesn't even make sense. Yes, it was a party house. So do you guys think that he could have used 2 knives though? Because I heard that there was like different injuries, maybe from 2 different knives. What makes you think they have guns? And oh, the Glock. Did Maddie work at the Greek restaurant? Yes. Maddie and Xana worked together there. Paco is not a critical thinker. No, he's not. But that's okay, Paco. All right, let's get into the next thing. This is from the CW network. Not sure who they are, actually. I think it's like a spinoff of like News Nation or something. Anyways, it's got Ashley Beigefield and Brian Enton in it. But it's an interesting piece. This is 9 minutes long. We're gonna walk through it right now. If you wanted to get away with murder, you wouldn't pick that house. How come? Wide ass open, kids in and out of it, so people like Paco can say, "Look, there's other male DNA." Doors unlocked, people going in and out at all hours. I think it would be a perfect house if you. I mean, too many people. It's ballsy. That's for sure. He was also, Idaho Charlie, you just reminded me that he was also seen in the student common area of UI. So he wasn't just hanging out at WSU. He was hanging out on the UI campus. For what? What would he need to be there for? I did. She's Ashley Beigefield. Maddie had a fans only on Instagram. What does that mean? Maddie did not have an OnlyFans, as far as I know. On Instagram, she modeled clothing. She worked for a boutique and modeled their clothing. Oh, I definitely think he stalked him. I agree with that. Christina, you have a good point. If you're going to set someone up, why would you use a knife sheath with a little tiny speck of evidence on it? Why wouldn't you put his freaking DNA all over that shit? Make sure there's no mistaking he did it. Oh, that's crazy, Mike. Will he testify? That's a good question, Gary. Let's do a poll. What do you think? Do you think he'll? I think he's probably going to wait and see how things go, but I don't think he will. Do you think Kohberger will testify? And I think no, and I think he's setting up. Well, I'll tell you why after. Yes, no, not sure. So, here's my thoughts. I feel like using the autism, the socially awkward, like, oh, he makes weird movements, he makes weird gestures, he's socially awkward, he doesn't know how to talk to people. Could all of that be leading up to saying why he's not going to testify, even though they don't have to explain? Could that be a, innocent reason for not wanting to testify because I'm so awkward and that's why I'm not getting on the stand, because I don't want to be judged by my awkwardness? But vote. That's a really good question. Do you think he'll testify? I don't think he will. I would be surprised if he did. I almost feel like we'll never hear him talk. Like he's going to be the opposite of Bundy in that sense. Now, what would really be interesting, what if, like BTK, when BTK went to a hearing, he literally surprised the judge and the whole courtroom and said, I'm pleading guilty. Do you think there's a chance that Bryan would ever do that? Because Diana, like we have a mix of different crimes, right? We've got some of BTK, we've got some of Danny Rawling, we've got some of Ted Bundy. Hell nah, says Tenny. Remember his students and teachers said he loved to talk. Remember he put it on his job resume, or not job resume, but a job application, he actually put on there that he won an award for public speaking, off the cuff public speaking. No, he's a coward. You could see him doing the BTK thing. Too arrogant. You don't think he will. Interesting. Java, join the club, girl. We are all ready to hear everything. You don't think he'll plead guilty? I think he likes the attention. I think he's always wanted to be like the center of attention. I do. I agree with that. Right, crimes. He's in control, right? Brian's in control. Hey, for the record. Tennessee Terry, I remember an interview that some girls said they remembered him at UI standing in the lunchroom and just standing and watching. Mm-hmm. And allegedly, a bunch of the girls that were interviewed over at WSU said the same, that he would stand in doorways and stare. He would follow people out to their car. There was a student he followed out to her car, made her extremely uncomfortable, and she reported it. He does think he's the smartest guy in the room. His personality is way different, bright. He's not as charming. I mean, I hate to say it, but Ted Bundy was charming, right? He was charismatic, if you will. Hello, Midwest. Hello, everybody just joining. Hey, Evelyn. Congratulations, Evelyn. Evelyn just became a mother-in-law over the weekend. Congratulations to Miss Evelyn and her family. That's awesome. I hope he's embarrassed. Not sure he has that emotion. I don't think he does. Imagine if he did it and he's found innocent. What if he walks? I'd be scared to death. I bet you, Island, yeah. You know what? He could throw that stuff out, crimes. He may take the stand but not confess. I think they can say bushy eyebrows. I don't think that they, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the judge said they couldn't say that. Hey, fool allergy. Yeah, I've actually been getting some Z's at night. I'll be back. At night. I'll do a night stream soon. You think his chair is lowered? I hadn't noticed. All right, let's get into this. Let's watch this and see what this is all about. I haven't watched it yet.
The small town of Moscow, Idaho remains on edge tonight following the brutal killings of 4 University of Idaho students.
Dylan provides an eyewitness account. What happened? Why the 8-hour delay?
I personally won't go out at night alone.
Just the basic facts of this case were jaw-dropping.
And it got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, she's not wearing beige. She's not wearing beige. Sorry, I'm going to pause periodically just because I'm not sure where this channel stands with things. I think feds were going after him if he got away from... Oh, yeah. That's right, Mike. Because Steve Gonsalves said that they were kind of hopping back and forth of who would prosecute. Would it be the feds? Would it be Idaho? And they decided to give it to Idaho. So it's wild, right? Because the feds never tried Ted Bundy. And he went from Utah, Washington, Idaho, Colorado. Where else was Bundy? I mean, Florida, obviously. See, they never went after him federally. They took him to each state and had him pay for his crimes in each state. Right? So would they do that for Bryan if he killed somewhere else? What do you guys think? Do you guys think Bryan killed somewhere else?
Am I looking at the murderer?
This nondescript person acting suspiciously, staring at them, glaring at them.
The accusations, they were getting crazier and crazier by the day.
A killer remains on the...
Why is my audio so off, guys? Hold on. I mean, it's like really delayed. Let's see if this helps.
Loose, and residents want more answers from law enforcement.
In our Facebook group, he would talk about where the bodies were positioned in the house.
Okay, so they've got the girl from the Facebook group that was the admin of the Facebook group that Papa Rogers posted it.
I'm sure the killer's on this page.
This is somebody who wanted his 5 seconds of fame and wanted to go down.
Here's another one. The date of the killing was chosen on purpose. Thoughts?
Notoriously.
Can you tell us what you were looking for while you were back at the house?
We live in Moscow in a murder mystery right now.
This is terrifying.
Moscow in a murder mystery right now.
That's a terrifying visual right there. Imagine being DM and only seeing like his eyes. That's scary as hell, guys. That is scary. That's like a nightmare right there.
Events like this don't occur in a vacuum.
This is the mayor.
I'm Art Betke. I'm the mayor of the city of Moscow, Idaho. Moscow's a quiet, rural university town, very peaceful, offers a high quality of life to folks. We've got about 27,000 people here. Fully 9,000 of them are students at the University of Idaho.
The university.
Do you guys remember when the... Hold on. I don't know if someone's here or if they're barking at the lawn people. I'm sorry. But do you guys remember when the mayor came out and he like slipped some news he wasn't supposed to slip? Welcome, Green-Eyed. Thank you for joining. Oscar Meyer says, even if he wasn't Papa Roger, he was there, no doubt. He definitely would have been reading. I think he was Papa Roger. Hey, Puffin.
City here really changes the flavor of being in a little town.
Mayor Art Betke, Idaho murders. I'm pretty sure he misspoke in the beginning. Oh, yeah, he said it was a crime of passion. That's what it was, right here. That's
well, joining me now just outside the university.
That's not where he said it, but he said it was a crime of passion. Shit, I can't read it to you, but that's what he came out and said. That it was a crime of passion. So, what do you think of that, Shiz?
It raises the intellectual and the cultural level of the citizens in this area.
My name is Brian Enton. I covered this story in Moscow, Idaho, pretty much from the very beginning. And it all begins with 4 extraordinary young people who were all students at the University of Idaho: Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle. Their lives were out there for the world to see on Instagram and TikTok.
Hi, my name is Xana Kernodle. I'm a marketing major here at the University of Idaho.
and I'm involved.
Everyone just loved Xana. She was known for being very social, very inviting, very inclusive.
Xana was so cute. This is so sad.
University of Idaho, and I'm involved.
Everyone
Hey,
just
Callie.
loved Xana. She was known for being very social, very inviting, very inclusive. Ethan was Xana's boyfriend. Ethan Chapin was a triplet. His mom had 3 high chairs lined up in the kitchen. Eventually, all 3 siblings enrolled at the University of Idaho.
Ethan was a second-year freshman, and I think he enjoyed life a lot.
She is the Facebook administrator for the University of Idaho murders case discussion. So this is going to be our administrator for the group that Papa Rogers was in. And if you remember, they kicked Papa Rogers out of their group. Remember that? This would be her.
A little too much, which is why he was a second-year freshman. Haley Gonzalez was 21 years old. She was part of the Alpha Phi sorority. On TikTok, Kaylee was a life of the party, really caring, a lot of fun.
I mean, just looking at their TikToks, he would have been able to watch their videos, see the layout of the house, and things like that. I mean, look at her thing, wide open. She did have curtains, at least. Maybe she shut her curtains at night and Maddie's was wide ass open. I don't know. But you could literally sit on the outskirts of this house, whether you sat up on Walenta Drive or you sat up in the parking lot behind the house. You could see right in. You could see into the kitchen. You could see into everything. Hey, Angela. I did. I had a great day yesterday. I hope you did as well. Hey, Kay Miller. Hey, Miss Margaret. Good to see you guys.
Party, really caring, a lot of fun.
Kaylee Gonzalez met Maddie Mogan when they were in 6th grade. So they had been friends for a really, really long time. They were in different sororities, but they shared a house.
The people in Maddie's sorority talked about her being like this bright and shining person. She had a great personality. On social media, she was outgoing. She was really sweet and kind.
So is this her room in King Road? Or is this a different place? Do you guys know? Remember, too, investigators were really spending some time over here by this fence as well.
The King Road house was known to be a party house. All the housemates were involved in Greek life. There were many noise complaints, and police would show up.
What's your last name?
The house was kind of oddly built into the side of a hill. You've got a front door that enters onto the basement floor. Then around the back, there's a deck, and then that has a sliding glass door that enters the second floor living area.
We're not actually. I don't know who lives here. No, I don't.
They're friendly. You guys haven't been drinking or anything, right?
No.
Okay, drive careful, okay?
Will do, thank you.
Don't you love how they just take their word? You guys haven't been drinking or anything, right? Drive careful. And that's wild seeing the old picture of the house, because look at in this picture, you can really see that back parking lot and how actually close it is to this house. You think that's at King?
The house has 3 floors, so they're renting the rooms and then have a common living area. They didn't even lock the door. I mean, it's just how it was.
And if you watched for long enough, you would know that those doors aren't locked. If you sat out there and watched, you would know. Hey, Nunya. A lot of what Dateline reported, wait, hold on, STL, has been talked about for months. A lot of it, but not all of it. And I think the fact that the judge is so pissed off tells me it was all real. Right? It was all real. Hey, Pam. Good to see you.
November 12th, it was game day. There was a big football game against UC Davis. That day, the housemates were all wearing, University of Idaho sweatshirts. They took a picture outside their house. Maddie sat.
This isn't outside their house, is it? This doesn't look like their house to me. I don't think this is their house.
On Kaylee's shoulders for the picture.
Is it? Maybe I'm wrong.
It's Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Then on either edge of the photo are the 2 other roommates, Bethany and Dylan.
Everyone looked really, really happy. They were clearly expecting to have a great time.
As big as the game is, the events that surround the game all through town and all through the university are as big, if not bigger. And it's a major party weekend.
Can't with the music.
That night, the housemates went to different parties.
Ethan had gone to a fraternity formal with his twin sister as his date.
Oh, I forgot that was the same night of the formal. He took his sister. I wonder why he didn't take Xana. Why do you think he didn't take Xana that night?
And met back up with Xana at a fraternity party.
Wouldn't it be weird if you had a boyfriend and he took his sister to a formal? Or is that just me? Why do you think he did that? Well, you can look up the address and you can see the layout. But you could also see, more particulars from their videos as well. I went to the beach yesterday, Pam. I got a little sunburn. My forehead's a little crispy, but we'll get through it. Right, where was X at during the formal? Oh, it was her formal? Oh, okay. I thought it was his. I was like, what? She brought her brother as her date. Okay. That's cute. Yeah, if she took him, it does make sense. That makes sense. I was thinking the other way around.
Maddie and Kaylee were at a bar called the Corner Club.
Maddie and Kaylee met up with Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, Jack.
So
he and Kaylee had been dating.
Oh yeah, Jack was in the video at the Corner Club. I wonder if they suspected anything weird at the Corner Club that night.
For their entire tenure at the University of Idaho, and they had recently broken up.
I wonder why they broke up. Not that it matters, but I just wonder if, like, what the reason was for them ending their relationship. Was it sudden? Because, like Steve said, she went on a date with somebody and the guy straight up called her a bitch. So she immediately dated? How long were they broken up? I mean, we've never really heard any deets about that.
After the girls were at the corner club, Kaylee and Maddie went to the grub truck, just like a food truck. Then they got a ride home.
Xana and Ethan came home around the same time as Maddie and Kaylee.
When everyone...
Yeah, what did Bryan do all day? That would be interesting to know. Did he go to a game? Did he go to the game? STL, they leaked a lot. They leaked audio. They leaked video. There was a lot of things that they leaked. They have the contents of Kohberger's phone. They have his AT&T records. That's pretty huge. If somebody leaked out the contents of Kohberger's phone, that's a problem in itself, let alone the other stuff.
Was back home
because what if the whole contents of his phone would get thrown out? That would be kind of scary, right? If that holds a lot of evidence.
House on King Road. They all chatted for a bit, and then they went to their various bedrooms. Kaylee and Madison went up to the third floor and they settled down together in Maddie's bedroom, while Kaylee's dog Murphy stayed in Kaylee's bedroom, which was across the hall. Xana and Ethan retired.
And that's weird to me. Unless Murphy just always slept in there regardless, why wouldn't Murphy want to be by his owner? That's weird to me. A dog alone in his room when its owner's in the bedroom. Hey, Shelby, thank you for being here. Hey, Pop Life, thank you for joining today. Cool tattoo. Yeah, did Bryan know she was in town? I mean, they posted the picture together, right? So the picture on the Instagram was, Kaylee saying, I love being surrounded by these people every day. So if he looked at their socials, he would have known. Imagine Bryan didn't bring his phone every time he stalked them. If he was testing and planning, maybe he was there a lot more than 23 times. It's true. Especially if Kaylee had moved out. So, I don't know. I still have always thought there was a reason Kaylee moved out before the end of the year. I just find that to be odd. That she was coming back. I mean, obviously she was there to, for this big weekend, but then they've also said that she had finals on Monday. She was supposed to take her finals. So I guess I don't understand why she had, like Steve said, she had been staying with us for the last couple weeks and we were taking care of her. Was Kaylee being stalked? Was Kaylee being stalked to the point where she felt she needed to go stay at home for a while? Did she feel comfortable that night because she was surrounded by all those people like she put in her post? Shelby Lynn, the dog thing bothers me too. Wait. Shit, I thought you sent another one. My bad. I was behind. Well, you would hope so, Snowflake. But unfortunately, if you make any mention of that, you're like victim shaming, right? I'm wondering if Kaylee and Maddie's door room was open so Murphy could go in and out. That's what I don't know. When the perp went upstairs, Murphy could have greeted him and he put him in Kaylee's room. She was hustling, working. But wasn't she moving to Texas for work? I feel like her family said she was there Monday. She was staying and then she was going to take her finals. I don't know. It's just the way it's always been worded. I always just had this feeling that something more have happened because we also knew that she had been followed, remember? I don't know, Vanessa. I guess that's up to the judge and who the leaker is. And I don't think they'll throw this stuff out. But they may sequester the jury, which sucks for the jury because then for months they're going to be sequestered in hotels. Hey, Elizabeth. Thank you. So the question is, I mean, with the Dateline leaks, yeah, it's a big deal because there's a gag order signed by a judge. And judges don't take kindly to their gag orders being violated. Especially if they're going to nail down who it is and they think it's someone from LE, which I misspoke. I misspoke in the previous live about this. I thought the defense and prosecution orders read the same. They don't. The judge suspects it came from the state side. And that's a problem. That is a huge problem. Yep, it's going to make the jury pick longer. It's going to make everything that much more expensive as well as time consuming. So, hey, Alabama nanny. Well, I love your daughter too, and I hope that little bun in the oven is doing well. So Kaylee left this life trying to protect Maddie, and that's why her injuries were worse, including her nose. Yes, I think so, Holly. I think so.
Xana's room on the second floor, while Dylan went to her room, which was down the hall from that. Meanwhile, Bethany went to sleep in her bedroom, and that was on the basement level.
One thing that we know is that Kaylee and Maddie called Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, Jack, several times, but he never picked up. It just went straight to voicemail. The other thing that we do know is that Xana ordered food and it was delivered to the house around 4 a.m.
That was the last contact the housemates had with the outside world.
So I wonder, did Xana come into contact with the DoorDash person? This is what I really want to know. Did they drop it? Did they see her face to face? Was it at the front door? And while Xana was getting her food, did Bryan Kohberger then come in the back door? You think it was a cop, Vicky? You have to ask who had access to the phone records. I mean, these things were sealed. Sealed. Who had access to phone records and the contents of his cell phone?
And when the news broke the very next day, it shocked everyone who heard it.
So that's the end. They have a bunch of videos. I don't know what the CW network is. Jesus. But they have put out a lot of Idaho videos lately. Let me see. Yeah, I guess that must be like a teaser. They're going to come out with another. That just came out 21 minutes ago, or 21 hours ago. So I will drop the link to this in the chat so you guys can also follow them. You know, Shiny, I can't figure out why my audio and video are off like that. Kels, that's a good point. I heard that Dateline had been holding on to things. I did hear that they were kind of getting it in doses, if you will. Yep. I think it's been slowly trickling in. So that's the CW. They have a lot of videos. I don't know who they are exactly, but it's some kind of network. I don't know why they have so much wrestling. That's weird. Now they're on the Idaho. They did something on Vicky and Casey White, Lori Vallow. I'm not really sure. It's kind of wild. But anyway, that's the channel I got that from. I thought it was pretty interesting. Oh, it's a national network. CW is the TV company that purchased Warner Brothers. Oh, I did not know that. Thank you, Pop Life. Thank you for re-upping. I don't think that the leak is fake, or why would the judge be so upset if the leak was faked? That doesn't seem to make much sense. If all that was fake information, I mean, it sounds to me like they legitimately leaked what the state's evidence is, and that's why he's pissed. Let me see if there's any new filings today. Nope. Nothing since the 15th. But the alternate perpetrator thing sounds like another huge joke, kind of like the stargazing shit was. Because we have here, it says, the judge basically said, you have no, that's when they sealed it. Right here. Where did I see that? There was about the alternate perpetrators. Basically, maybe it was said in the hearing. Maybe I didn't read it after all. Did the judge say in the hearing that there was basically no substance to their filing about alternate perpetrators? I think it was in the hearing. I'm losing my mind. And then remember we heard this is another thing that was weird. The doctor visit after the murders. We heard he went to the doctor. Stargazing. It was cloudy too, Crimes. Dateline is usually, Dateline goes off sources all the time. Okay. So it's not Dateline's fault because they have freedom of the press. Nothing will happen to Dateline. Nothing will happen to them. They get most of their information from sources anyways. Unnamed sources. Probably most of the time within law enforcement, right? That's what it was, Crimes. He said they have to have solid evidence, not just them saying, oh, yeah, we think this guy did it. The hoodies. Oh, yeah, the selfies. They were creepy. Right, because there's no evidence, Mike. Dateline is Dateline. You got that right. But yeah, so, hey, Shane Culkin. So I guess, I don't know when we'll find out about, what will happen with this leak. Will we find out? Will this be handled behind the scenes? Or will we be able to see it because the judge wrote these orders? And they have 7 days. The prosecution has, listen what all the prosecution has to come up with. Thank you so much for subscribing, Sue and Pam J. Thank you for being a lawful listener for 2 months. Well, he was at Wawa State Park. He wasn't in a city, Sylvia. It was a lot of new info. Right, Callie, but Keith Morrison did say that they were sent the contents of his phone. So did they send it all? But they want from the state, he wants within 7 days them to produce all the law enforcement and prosecuting agencies, past or present, anybody. They want it all. He wants it all. Anybody who had access to the cell phone, the AT&T records, the videos of suspect vehicle 1, any other social media accounts or devices, including internet history, photographs, and information associated with the Amazon. I mean, the Amazon thing's big because that's Kohberger's family's Amazon. That's a whole ass family's Amazon if they leaked it all. So within 7 days, they have to write the court a written plan to address and prevent future unauthorized disclosure of information and what they have done or proposed to do to identify the violations. So I don't know. Hey, Global, will we hear more? Let's see if Dateline is still up. I'm pretty sure it would be. Because I don't think they're in any trouble. Let's see. 5/16. When did this come out? No, it's still there. 5/9 right there. The terrible night on King Road right there. Hey, and while I've got all of you guys here right now, listen. If you join me for the Diddy, deep dive on Diddy and Cassie. So Cassie's mom is supposed to testify soon, in the next day or two. I think I'm going to go live and cover Cassie's mom and then also recap Cassie's best friend. Cassie's best friend testified today. No, Dateline does not pay. Not that I know of. So no, Dateline doesn't have to give up their sources. It's like some kind of freedom of the press. He can't make them. What if there was a hack? Hey, Mike, what if this was all set up beforehand? What if Bryan Kohberger sent a copy of his phone and his AT&T record to Dateline in a pre-scheduled email? Tinfoil hat time. Callie Dime, I got to get caught up. Is there anything new going on in Michael's case? I see that there's a scheduled unreleased call tonight. I'm interested in watching that. I wonder if the DD driver will be identified. I'm thinking maybe they'll be a witness, but will they identify them? Kohberger and his sisters are adults. Well, maybe they share a family account so they can use Prime. What if he did something freaking weird like that? He's like a forensics dude. Yeah. How would she get his bill, though? It's got to be somebody who would have access to his bill. I don't think Ramslin is going to get involved in that shit. I don't think Ramslin's looking to go to prison. I think if Ramslin was going to go to prison, it wouldn't be for leaking information. I think she'd actually do something that she really is curious about to go to prison, if you will. I think Steve said they found the two guys. Yeah, well, yeah, he did say that, but he's not going to say they didn't find them and make it look like it. He's going to word things specifically because of a gag order. Steve couldn't say yes. No, Steve said there was a stalker. But we don't know everything yet. Hey, Tato. How would he send the video footage? Well, I think that it's interesting enough to say that the Gonsalves said they went door to door. Olivia Gonsalves went door to door asking about footage, audio, and stuff like that. And they actually got it. So That could be it. Oh, maybe one of the sisters? If it was under his parents, they would have access. Right, but then you have the light bulb video. I think the girls were eating in the small room, so Murphy was in the other room. I'm just not sure. Okay, yeah, I knew he was arrested, but not for that. But he's still in jail. Okay, I'm interested. I thought it said it was a new, previously unreleased interview. I'm interested to watch it. Long Island Hillbilly about the alternate suspects. The judge said to the defense, "What you have now is mostly inadmissible." Hey, Michaela. I think the defense said, yeah, but the judge seems to think it came from the state. So I don't know. What if there was a hack? I mean, it'd be one thing, though, like Kay Miller, if it was just that one thing, but it was Amazon, the video. It could be multiple sources. It doesn't mean it all came from one person, right? Because think about it. What if the Gonsalves had audio or video, which we know they played for Betty? You think the sister is the informant? Were the parents paying his bill? I don't know. Probably. There wasn't a hack, says Butter. Butter's got to come in here and take our tinfoil hat off. I'm just kidding. Let's see the results of the poll. Do you think Kohberger will testify? 66% of you say no bueno, don't think he will. 17% are not sure, and 15% seem confident that he is. Oh, Alexander, if you guys would like to watch the Dateline, here, it's on my Kick. Hold on. I'll give you guys the link if you haven't seen it. You can watch it for free. All you have to do, you don't need to make an account or anything. Okay? You don't have to make an account. All you have to do is click the link. You can open it in a browser, or you can download the app if you'd like. Yeah, sit down in a chair for 17 minutes and see how long that actually is. Butter. That's funny. Who was offered a plea deal? Callie, I will. I'm actually going to share. If you guys, here's the Kick again. You don't have to sign up or nothing. There's no commercials over there. It's just a place where you can, anything goes. What is the name of her channel again? PN Pacific Northwest Crimes? I want to share the link, Callie. Missing PNW Crimes. Okay, is that it? Yeah, this is it. Okay, hold on. All right, so if you guys have followed the Michael Monkey Vaughan case out of Fruitland, Idaho, Callie Dime is close with Brandy Neal, the mom of Michael, and Missing PNW Crimes Revisited, a.k.a. Samantha. She's done a wonderful job, like, doing interviews with suspects and people involved, such as Stacy Wondra and Brandon Shirtliff. And tonight we have, is it a premiere? No, it's a live stream. She has another phone call with Brandon Shirtliff, who is a suspect. He's actually in jail right now on unrelated charges. However, he's one of 4 that obviously know something. There's the link if you guys want to watch that tonight. It looks like it's on in 2 hours. at 7 o'clock Eastern. So, yeah, she does a really nice job. She's very respectful. I have a lot of respect for her and how she's handled this case. I want to know when his dad placed. Oh, yeah. When did he buy that damn thing? Oh, Kyron. What's going on with Kyrons? So she's playing the recording tonight. It kept crashing for you? Really? I'm sorry about that. So yeah, I'll try to be in the chat today. Let me give it a like. I just think she's a very underrated channel. I think she does a great job. So let her know I said that, and we're praying for justice for Michael as well, for sure. Sarah Luna. You know what? Allow me to share my Gabby Petito video from yesterday with you guys before we end this. I think that'd be a good note to end it on. I enjoyed driving around with you guys. I do shit like that on my second channel. If you want to join me over there, it's Every Day with Jay. I do some bitching. I do some driving. We do some field trips. We do a whole lot of shit over there. Get dreadlock maintenance, which I'm going to be dyeing my dreads soon, highlighting the ends. So wish me luck that I don't screw it up. Oh, of course, Callie. John's son, I think it will as well. But I condensed it down into this little video, and just remembering Gabby, and, you know, we cover a lot of cases here, and we don't forget about them. And I just want you guys to not forget about her either. So let's watch this clip. And I thank you for joining me on Monday Live. I'll be back on Friday Live for sure at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday and Friday. Make sure you click notifications.
What we're hearing is the parents of Bryan Laundrie requested to speak to police.
Christopher Laundrie, Roberto Laundrie, you hear us? The whole world is watching. You're going to prison. You are going to prison.
This is just yesterday.
Right here. Did they plant bushes? There's their house, y'all. 4343 Wasabo Avenue. Look, they put bushes. Don't look at us. We're shitbags.
Listen, you can't count Buck Cherry. You can't count on that. That's rumor. There's no plea deal offered to Bryan Kohberger. Nope, I'm not losing the dreads, John's son. When you have my hair on your head, you can make that choice. But until then, the dreads stay. They stay. It's been fun too, Texas Ranger.
Yeah. We put bushes up. Look at that. What a bunch of cowards. There's the laundry's big bushes. Wonder if there's if they've been doing any gardening. So, did you guys hear that when the police went inside here, Gabby's mom said Bryan's room was gutted? It was gutted. All of his shit was gone. They couldn't even get a cent for the dog because these motherfuckers packed everything up.
We are back live. This is in Northport, Florida, where police, we have been told, have been inside the house of Bryan Laundrie, and it looks like police are now going through a vehicle there in front of that house in Northport, Florida.
If it was my daughter that was missing, I can't think of anybody that would stop me from going in that house, grabbing that kid and finding out information.
Jason Sternquist and his family got out Sharpies and poster boards. They began writing and pleading for Laundrie to speak up.
This protesting, this witch hunt, this mob-style crucifixion of Chris and Roberta Laundrie, is just wrong. And, enough is enough.
I could care less about that attorney and whatever he feels and thinks about. That family has ignored phone calls.
Did you guys just notice who was on the screen? Did you recognize White Boy Lockdown Radio? He's like, I don't care about that attorney or what he thinks or feels. Like, get him.
Just wrong. And, enough is enough.
I could care less about that attorney and whatever he feels and thinks about. That family has ignored phone calls. That girl used to live there. How do you do that?
And remember the black dress? Remember the black dress lady? Where would she have had to come from other than in the backyard? Because look, the lady in the black dress couldn't have come from anywhere else. There's a fence there, and then they have their privacy fence. Black dress lady, aka Bryan, came from the backyard. Oh, it's a friend coming over. Dirty dirties. All right, say goodbye to the dirty dirty. So it says,
so this, I went to, there's the city hall. Oh, cheesy. I'm telling you, I know. John's son, you're an idiot. But this is at the city hall, just minutes from the Laundrie's house.
Gabby Petito, 1999 to 2021. Lift up your hearts and share with me the memories that will always be. Let it be. Matthew 18:20. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. It is pretty. There's the butterflies on it. They have a shell down here. People have like left stuff. And a owl rock. There's a big conch shell.
She did just fly it.
There's a butterfly there. I've got to sit on it. Poor Gabby. Let's have a moment of silence for Gabby.
Poor Gabby. Makes me so sad. Sad stuff, man. But at least they remembered her there in Northport. You do, Sarah. That's really cute. You're right there, Love Louie. Oh, I had a full day yesterday. I went to the beach. I went to Englewood Beach yesterday. And then after that, did the ride, went to the reserve. I lost my signal and stuff like that. But yeah. Is there a golf? I don't know. I haven't seen the events, but I was there and I wanted to finally see the bench. It's been 4 years. When I made this video and it said 2021, I'm like, there is no way it's been that long. We couldn't see their toes. It is Lavender. She was a sweet girl, Potato. She was. The black dress lady, I can't explain it. It's like Callie Dime said. She flew in on this fucking broom and she suddenly appeared. And we were like, who is that? Weird. Very weird stuff. Yeah, they have done a lot of interviews too. Her mom has done some interviews and stuff where she's dropped some bombs. Like she said in this one interview that I watched, I played it for you guys in a previous live, that she said she did not believe that Bryan pulled the trigger. She doesn't believe it. She really doesn't. She thinks one of the parents did. It's so cold. Still cold, Cheesy? My mouse just died. Butter mouse. It's still cold in Minnesota right now? It's really hot here. You almost have to be in the water. June 6th, 2025 in New York. Gabby Broussard Foundation changed the world golf outing. Nice. They're good peeps, man. You can just tell they're good people. But I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you, thank you. We will continue deep diving and doing updates on the Idaho 4 case and so on and so forth. Make sure that you check out that video about Michael Monkey Vaughn's case tonight. There is the link again. And hit the like button on your way out. I look forward to future streams, and I love you guys. Thank you for all of your chatter. Cheesy, stay warm. For God's sakes, Cheesy. Freeze warning. I can't. It's nuts. But you guys, stay cool, stay safe. And until the next one, I will see you then. Let's run our credits. Thank you guys for joining. See you soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further? Bring it all in. And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click. It's real easy, man.